This right here is my first Facebook Marketplace deal. It is a Traxxas Revo 3.3, and I paid a little bit on the high side for it. It does not run. It was seized. I got ahead of myself a little bit. I'm sorry. I went and tried the electronics, the servos, all that, receiver. It all works. That came with a remote. And essentially the objective today is to get it running, just to get it running, and then part two is going to be breaking it down and getting it all deep cleaned, and possibly, depending on the condition of the motor, I'm going to tear into that motor and rebuild it if we need to. Hopefully we don't need to. But enough yapping anyways. I'm sure you guys really want to see the truck. So this is a Revo 3.3. But it's actually kind of a Frankenstein. It's interesting. I think this truck started off its life as a Slayer, and one of the ones that was released in 2008. A nice little body shell on here. It's actually not in the worst condition. So you'll see we have a silver chassis. Okay, but this is not the Revo Platinum chassis, unfortunately. That's what I thought it was. But it has everything a Revo Platinum would have on it, pretty much. I'm going to finish it. I got a bunch of parts. Whether or not I'm going to keep this motor, we'll see what condition it's in. But you can see this is broken header here. It's not in the best of condition. I definitely paid a little bit more than I wanted to for it. But nonetheless, it's going to be a fun project. I'm going to try to make this into I'm going to try and make this as accurate as possible to a Revo Platinum. And we're only going to be able to get this to about 99% complete because the chassis is just, like, you can't even find it online. It's just gone. They don't have it. It's been discontinued. You can see the air filter here has just had better days. Looks like they've bypassed the hump pack here. It's usually in the bottom, on the bottom here. It does power up. We'll get some batteries in here and start getting everything moving, show you guys what's going on. Special thing, it's already got center diff in here, front and rear brakes that came on the Revo Platinum, and it's a special. Nice. Yeah, clean up for me, thank you. And it's not the tiny little disc brake. It's a full vented and drilled rotor. Let's see if we can get a good look in there. Oh no, it might be a little dark. See, it's vented, it's thick, and it's also drilled for cooling. So it's got front and rear disc brakes. It's got the center diff. Front anodized, red anodized sway bar with the rear sway bar as well. That's not red for some reason. Receiver box, it's different. Let me pull out the Revo 3.3 here. The regular Revo 3.3. So you can see here, and I'll go into more depth about this truck later, about the Platinum specifics once we finish the project, and I have all the pieces on here already, so that way we can actually see what's different. But right now, so we got the sway bars that came on the Revo Platinum, front and rear. We got a center diff with the front and rear disc brakes, and on here we've only got the front brake, and it's just direct drive in the transmission here, so there is no center diff. And we have reverse in this stock Revo 3.3, so you've got the OptiDrive sensor, and then you've got the whole receiver box with the OptiDrive in there, whereas here you just have the receiver in there. So the Revo Platinum was meant for racing, which is why, yeah, you see it's got a wing on here. And the whole thing is they're trying to reduce weight. So you got a transponder spot here. See where that box would have been. And then you've got a box for your servos here. And on this one you don't. So again, going for weight savings. We've got the long arm travel suspension on here. So again, sorry for the lighting, it's a little dark. You can see there's 2 notches on there, which allows it for adjustment of the wheelbase. There's this one, there's only one. So the Revo Platinum has a longer wheelbase, slightly. And then the Platinum would have had red anodized links, which I will be getting, front and rear. And then the motor actually does not have an easy start or a pull start. It would have been a bump start with a larger flywheel to be able to get a bump start in there. And it was a sealed back plate. Actually, I have one of the back plates because I do plan on finishing the conversion up. Let's see here. Now here's the flywheel. Part number there. Large anodized aluminum. And then here is the back plate. The sealed back plate that would have gone on the back of the engine here. Right here. And would have made it a bump start. This one's actually kind of hard to track down, or getting hard to track down. Some of these parts are getting hard to find. As well as it had a spring header. So you see how this header, and it's exactly the exact problem why they had a spring header on there, is because see how this header in here is bolted in there, and it snapped because of impact. Well, this doesn't bolt in. It's just got 2 little holes on each side, and this spring wraps around the motor holding the header in place, stopping it from breaking like that. So that's kind of cool that we kind of get to see that. Not cool for me because obviously it's broken, but cool that we get to see why they did it. And then the Revo Platinum, like I said earlier, came with a silver chassis, and the reason why we're only going to be able to get this thing 99% complete is because right here where the RC Driver sticker is, oh, which by the way, the guy told me this truck was an RC Driver magazine, you know, for whatever it's worth. I don't know, I tried to look it up, I couldn't find it. But the Revo Platinum has a 2008 Revo Platinum engraving on the chassis, so it's a special chassis. Same color, titanium anodized, just has the engraving. The chassis is the same size, it's just silver. Now you hear a lot of people say, oh, it's 30 millimeters longer. Well, it is longer than the original Revo 3.3 that was the short chassis. But after they came out with this one, they realized, okay, well, we should probably just do all that on this one. And that's where this one came from. So with that all being said, should be able to get it about 99% complete. In case you guys are wondering what the center diff is predominantly for, I think it was for racing when you land real hard, when you miss the smooth landing and you land real deep and you bottom out real hard. Apparently the center diff will not blow up your diffs. It'll kind of allow the power to brake to front or rear. And I'll demonstrate this real quick because you can tell, because I wanted to know if I was gonna get a center diff or not before I bought, and this is how you can tell. So take the truck and I can pull this truck and it rolls without moving the front wheels. You see this? That's because it's got a center diff. Now you try to take the same truck and move this one, that's just direct drive in the transmission here. So that's the difference for that and how you can tell if it's got a center diff or not. One other thing I did forget, it's got the different bumpers. Came with different bumpers. These are pretty toasted. I'm gonna have to get probably new ones. All the boots are torn on them, so we're gonna have to redo all the boots. The tires, these are like HBI tires, I think. A little bit dry rotted, but for nitro it doesn't go very fast. So like I said, I did get a jump on this. I did free the motor up. We do have some compression on here, but not much. Not a crazy amount. You know, it's not a crazy amount of compression, so I don't have a lot of hope for this engine. It was seized. I did get it moving. I think it was just gelled up. The tank has fuel in it now. It didn't, but you can see how dark it is. It was pretty gelled up in there, and I didn't clean it out. Just decided to try to run it. But obviously it was not going to want to start with that header being broken. So that's going to be the first thing we're going to do here. And then just going to leave the air filter on there and the dirty fuel in here. Oh yeah, the fuel lines rotted off. So I got new fuel lines. And then the header, slightly different header. This one I think came on the 2.5R, but it'll still fit. They have the same size. And then here's the fuel line, the one from the exhaust to the tank for the pressure, and then from the tank to the carburetor. And I guess we won't have those parts for very long. They're becoming chew toys. Alright, let's get this thing running. Okay. Alright. So, pull out some tools here. Go ahead and pull the header. Get the header off. What size is this? Try this one first. Looks like it's going to be a little difficult to get to here. Actually, okay, yeah, never mind. Well, just realized there's a screw missing on that side. Hopefully it's not. Okay, we're gonna have to remove the exhaust first. And I've got the wrong bit. Crap, I did not see that that bolt either isn't there or is snapped off. Let's hope it's the first one. You see what I'm doing here? Not really. Taking off the resonator right now, the pipe. This mat is a lifesaver for the bolt to go flying sometimes. Okay. So there's that resonator. Completely snapped there, rusted real bad. Hopefully that rust comes off the resonator. Okay. Kind of a difficult spot here. Can't get in there. So this one's actually smaller. Header's a bit stuck in there. Does not want. Does not want to come off of there. Well, I'm gonna go get me some bigger pliers. Okay, let's try these. Wow, that did not want to come off. Okay, so looks like we're just gonna be missing a bolt. A screw. Missing one of these. I'm hoping it'll run with just one. Let's see. Looking about as dirty as you'd think for an exhaust port. Huh. Okay, let's keep going. Just pull the fuel lines off next. These are all rotted, they're snapping off. You know what, I might just leave these on for now and just do the header. There's the header part number. Again, this one is for the 2.5, but it'll work. There we go. Put our one bolt back in. And we lost it. It's a little bit of a hard angle to get at here. Sorry, I am not getting this angle in good. We'll just get this part in quick and quick enough, as quick as possible, and try to get it started, and that will be it for part one. Okay, that's on there enough. Go ahead and pull this. Gasket. Should be good enough to start it. It's our only goal is just to get it running, see if we can get it running. If it runs well, good, I don't really need to do much work. If it doesn't run well, check out what the motor needs, and if the motor is just too far gone, we're just going to go ahead and do the power up program and get a new one and replace it. It only costs like $110 when you do it that way, rather than like $2 something. I'm going to leave the exhaust loose. Go ahead and put the fuel line back in. Not sure. It's the same plug that came with the truck, so that could be an issue. Don't know what I'm doing here. Hooking the line up wrong. Oh. Okay. Yep. Header on. Fuel lines in place. Let's get some batteries in the hump pack here. It's the receiver that came with it. It's that old style receiver where you can set the brake and accelerate ratio, 50-50 and then 70-30. So that's pretty cool on the fly. So it works, power's on. So no, that's nice. It came with a remote. I probably will get the correct hump pack for it, so it's not just all loose out here like this. I've returned the needles to stock setting along with idle as much as I could. I ran some WD-40 in here, which is what got with the plug out, which is what got the motor loose. So now it turns over with not very much compression, unfortunately. And getting no power right now. There we go. Power on. Man, I'm not happy. Throttle, brake. We're having some power issues here with this hump pack. It's really corroded. But yeah, so make sure throttle's not jammed, which it isn't. And we'll go ahead and try to get this thing started. I'm gonna run it for like 5 seconds, really, because we're indoors right now and I'm in an apartment, so it's gonna piss my neighbors off. But just to see if it runs, and that'll be it for part 1. And for part 2, we'll probably tear into the motor and possibly halfway the chassis and deep clean it. We'll see we'll see how it goes. But all right, let's try to get this thing started. Okay, got my glow driver and my starter. My glow driver and my starter one. Okay, go ahead and prime it. I do have to. The starter wire for the easy start did break, so I do have to kind of finesse it. See how easy it turns over. I'll put my finger on the exhaust. Try to get it primed. Alright, we're not going to be able to do that. We're probably just going to do it manually. Blow on the exhaust line here. There's a fuel going through right there. Okay, see if she wants to turn over. Okay, so we should have fuel getting to the carb. The glow igniter on there. Okay. See if she wants to fire. Okay, so she wants to run. She wants to run bad. Wow, it started right up. That woke me up, that's for sure. Okay, so let's see, maybe it's idle. Let's go ahead and get that idle speed down. It actually wasn't as loud as I thought it was gonna be. Not too bad. How are we doing on film? Oh, we're pretty low on film. Let me try to get it started up one more time, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end this one for now until the next video. Man, it smells like nitro in here, that's for sure. It smells good. Okay, get this idle down. Okay, we got the idle way down. Let's try this again. Where's that wire at? There you are. We got fuel still. Yep, we got fuel. Must have just turned the idle too low. See how it likes that. Well, now the motor don't want to turn over. Well,